the fake and phony world of overlanding. Lifts, light bars, lockers, door-mounted spare tire carriers, roof racks, gas containers on the side, water containers on the other side, shovels hanging off the roof rack, lights everywhere, giant tires, and a whole kitchen inside the back of the truck. Yes, I'm here to tell you, you don't need any of that to actually overland. But the overlanding industrial complex would have you believing otherwise. First thing somebody's going to say is you need a lift to go overlanding. So what type of lift kit do you recommend so I can go on overlanding adventures? And the fact is simple. Most overlanders are going to stay on easy and moderate trails, and you do not need a lift at all. Any 4x4 you buy has enough ground clearance to do easy and moderate trails, period. In addition, we've taken this Lexus GX460, which is not lifted, on many black diamond trails without a problem. What about all the other crap like Max Tracks? Yeah, you're going to put them under your tires and they're going to fly out. You don't need them. What about the gas tanks on the side? If you didn't plan your overlanding trip enough, your 2 gallons of extra gas, if you need that gas, is not going to get you where you need to go. It's not going to do anything for you. What about a winch? Yeah, we have one. It's a little portable winch we attach to the back, and we don't use it because we never ever need it. The tire carrier on the back, what's the point of that? You have a spare tire underneath most trucks and SUVs, or it's on the back door. So having a redundant extra tire carrier makes no sense at all. What about the rooftop tent, the big silly thing on top? I guess if you want to camp like you're Snoopy in a Charlie Brown comic, you go ahead and camp on top of your car if you want, but you can also camp like most people do forever around the world, which is just in a regular old tent. All right, it's impossible to go down all the overlanding gear nonsense that exists out there. Suffice to say that you don't need it at all to go overlanding. And what is overlanding anyway? That term didn't even exist decades ago. It was just car camping. You took your car into the woods or wherever, off-road, and you went camping. That's it. So what does this overlanding nonsense even mean? And truth be told, it's simply pretentious off-roading and pretentious camping. It is to what glamping is to camping, overlanding is to car camping. Why then do the overlanding rigs, another cringe word, sorry, have to look like all on lifts with all the junk that we already just mentioned? Why does it have to be like that? Why does it look like that? And the answer is it's just for looks. It's pretentious, fake, phony, posery nonsense. And that's just the truth, and somebody has got to say this. 90% of that crap, again, is not necessary or even helpful, and in some cases can be a disadvantage when you're off-roading or overlanding. It's a vanity mobile. It's for looks. It's supposed to look adventurous. It's supposed to imply something. So how did we get to this phony overlanding stuff to begin with? And here it is. Some people are so emasculated and in debt and enslaved in their normal 9 to 5 at the office in whatever city or suburb they live in. They're so emasculated and controlled and enslaved and contained by that misery that they need to overcompensate somewhere in their lives so they can be cognitive dissonant, they can put it out of their mind, they can engage in Orwellian doublethink, that they're not in this cubicle every day slaving away their debt for an indefinite amount of time. They want to find a way out of that, and they overcompensate by getting a freedom mobile, an expedition mobile. They're going on an African jungle safari to unknown territory. No, they're going to the cubicle every day from 9 to 5, and they're repaying their endless amount of compounding debt. And it hurts. It doesn't feel good, and they want to find a way out. And here comes the allure of fake adventures, and overlanding, or car camping as it used to be called, somehow got sucked into this world of delusion and is now the new it thing for the aforementioned debt slave to use as a vessel to escape from. You're not slaving away 6 days a week for 12 hours a day. You're going on adventures. So the whole overlanding look is not in its own little container here. There's all sorts of other fakery that gets lumped into this category, but it is the same category of trying to look a certain way so the buyer or the user feels a certain way. It is not an objective requirement to go camping off-road or car camping or off-roading. It's not a requirement, it's a look. The look satisfies a deep-seated psychological need for the user or buyer or owner of the vehicle to feel free, to feel liberated, to feel that nobody controls them or where they go. They have an overlander. They can go on adventures wherever they want and do whatever and however they please, and it must be shown to the world by being encompassed in the most ostentatious, pretentious, overly built, another cringe word, vehicle possible. Now, of course, there's exceptions to the overlanding stereotype rule that we're having fun with here today. Of course, there's going to be those overlanders that do seriously go out on real, long-term, hardcore overlanding adventures, and they're going to do black diamond trails, and they're going to need all that stuff that they have all over their cars. But that is the minority, that is the minutia, that is not most people who are going to overland and overland their vehicle. Most people who fall into the general overlanding category don't need 90% of the overlanding stuff that the overlanding industrial complex wants to shill them. So what do you need to overland or car camp? You need your 4x4 vehicle, whatever that is, and then you take your camping crap. You know what camping crap is. They sell it at Walmart. Your tents, your whatever you're going to bring, everybody camps differently, and you shove it in the back of the vehicle. This thing is huge in the back. Shove it inside. It doesn't need to be hanging off the back so everybody can see that, oh, wow, he's going on an adventure. Yes, believe it or not, the inside of your truck or SUV carries the crap better than hanging off the sides of it. But it's bad at being able to show other people that you're going camping. Once you shove your crap, your camping crap in the back and realize, oh wow, all my camping stuff fits just fine inside the SUV or truck, just fine. Once you realize that, you can get onto the mods that you actually need to do. And you'll find, again, that that's going to be about 10% of the overlanding crap that is sold to you. And what I mean by that is, if you take this car, for example, we cut the bumper so you have more approach angle. You put on all-terrains, not for better traction, but rather so the sidewalls are tougher and they last longer off-road. We put some skid plates on the bottom, and that's it. That's it. This thing is not lifted. There's no modifications to the suspension, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing hanging off of it. All of our camping and recovery gear is inside the back of the vehicle, and it fits just fine with plenty of room to spare. And you will see us on black diamond trails without an issue. But it doesn't scream to the world that I'm going on adventures and we're going to phantasmical places doing phantasmical things. It screams we're going to soccer practice, which we do too. But the point of this video is not negativity. If you haven't realized that by now, I'm not knocking overlanding. Overlanding is awesome. What I'm saying instead is, if you want to overland, you don't need as much crap that you think you actually need. And if you can accept this, you can actually get out there and enjoy overlanding more than most of the overlanders in quotation actually do. Overlanders with a bunch of garbage and gear in the back, shelves, they're going to have a kitchen, they're going to have their whole house, they're going to have a whole 4-star hotel inside the back of their truck or SUV, because when you get to your location and you set up camp, that you have to bring out all your nonsense and you have to set it up and you have to recreate a 5-star hotel or a 4-star restaurant. And to that I say, you are missing the point of what we used to call car camping, and that is to unplug from where you live. We are here in America. We already got it cushy. The point of camping is to gain that perspective from our cushy world over here in our homes where we live. And yes, this is where we live. It's not an off-road trail. This is our home. But even still, it's cushy inside the house over there. And when we go overlanding, car camping, we go out in regular tents so we can detach and unplug from all the comforts of home. And what that does is give us perspective or an appreciation for both worlds. And that is the point of getting out there and just having fun in nature. I'm not going to get into nonsensical spirituality phonery that you see overlanders get into when they go outside and have some sort of spiritual revelation because I have my $4,000 solar-powered crock pot next to my $5,000 olive oil dispensers inside of my... There's no spiritual awakening in any of that. That's bullocks, and you know it. It's an opportunity to pretend, the root word of pretentiousness. You want to talk spirituality and nature overlanding, you got to remember that you need to connect with nature. And the more phony, glamping crap that you take out of the back of your vehicle, the more you dilute that connection with nature that you're supposed to be having. Don't fall victim of the overlanding industrial complex amplification and shilling and BS. It's 100% phony. You know it, I know it, they know it. Instead, realize that if you have a 4x4, you have an opportunity to go out there and camp off-road without doing hardly anything extra than what your vehicle already has or came with. I want you to remember this. Off-roading is not what you drive, it's what you do. Likewise, overlanding is not what you drive. Overlanding is what you do. All you need to do is set yourself up with minimal modifications that make sense for whatever car you're in, and then you need to get your camping gear together, pack it up in soft bags, hard bags, and either leave it in your car or some corner of your garage so it's ready to grab at a moment's notice on impulse. If a friend wants to go car camping, you can just grab your stuff, throw it in the back, and go. Overlanding is inclusive. It's supposed to be inclusive, something everybody can do as long as they have a 4x4 and some basic common sense. It's not supposed to be exclusive, where you need to dress it up like overlanding Barbie playset and do this and stick that and stick this on it before you can do anything. That's nonsense. So before you kit out and get your overlanding rig ready for conquering outer space, I want you to check out this channel and see where this Lexus GX460 on stock height suspension has been without any overlanding crap or Chinese aftermarket modifications added to it. What I'm saying is simple. Before you change your vehicle to what somebody else programmed in your head what it should be, to do something that you know deep down has nothing to do with that. I want you to take your actual stock vehicle off-road and see how far you get. You will be surprised, no matter what you're driving. If you just practice your off-roading skills, you're going to get way further with what you have than you'd ever imagine. You can't buy skill. You have to be the most expensive, priceless piece of gear there is. You, your brain, your skill, your tenacity, your intelligence, your willingness to practice, fail, make mistakes, improve, do it again and again until you get it right and understand off-roading logic. You can't buy your way out of that with a Chinese lift kit, or larger tires, or a winch, or traction boards, or lights everywhere. You can't buy your way out of not having any skills. Skills first, gear second.